Hey guys, wanted to go ahead and just do a re-review of the KPH40s and a re-review of the KOS KPH30i's. And I think it's worth re-reviewing because there's some bits of information that has come out that I think people should know. So the KPH30i's are actually on sale right now. So they're $22 today. That's a really great deal. And the KPH40s are $28. And in my opinion, these are great sounding headphones. So I want to go ahead and tell you and just basically give you a recap of what I said in the video in like 2 sentences, and then I'm going to tell you why I was wrong. So basically what I said in the KPH40i or KPH40 review is this is much more sturdy compared to the KPH30i because the KPH30i will break right here. That's a true statement. It is going to happen. If you're going to get a KPH30i, get some super glue because it will happen. This will break right here. And that's why I said go for the KPH40s because these are stainless steel and a lot more flexible and I would say more sleek, takes up less space, it's lighter. And point number 2, I said the KPH40s sound better than the KPH30i's. And they do, actually, with one exception. And I'll talk about the exception. I felt like the KPH40s just were less muddy. They had a little bit more clarity. The bass was... it's tricky to say. I go back and forth on this. I don't know which one has more bass between the 30i and the 40. But anyway, let's get to the point. The point I want to get to is this. The Clears. The KPH30i Clears, this particular color, the sound of these are different. So these actually have a little bit less acoustic, a little bit less foam on here. Now, if you know sound and acoustics, acoustic foam or foam on a microphone or foam on headphones or foam on IEMs will kind of muffle the sound a little bit, but also dull down the treble a little bit. That's just how it is. That's what they did here. It has less foam. When you have less foam, it's going to brighten it, open it up a little bit, but you're also going to have a little bit, tiny bit less bass. And that's actually what happened with the Clears. It has less foam. So compared to the foam, I mean the Clears compared to the KPH40s, I actually think they're on par. I was actually listening to these and I'm like, damn, these sound really good. And I actually had this, I've had this for a few years now. I mean, I bought this about 2 years ago, but I didn't pay much attention to it because it's been so long. And I went back to it and I took a listen and like, now that I go back to this sounds, they're on par. I was literally scratching my head because I don't know which one has more bass. They're so subtle. Now there's different kinds of bass, and I remember like some reviewers were saying the sub bass on this is that, but then the other bass on this is higher on the other. That's why people are conflicting on what has more bass. But anyway, I think in general sound wise, they sound just about like on par. And I do want to add one more thing. In my video of the KPH40, I did include other reviewers where they all said that the 40 sounded better than the KPH30i. And if you look at it through context, it actually is true. But I do want to say one more thing. None of them had the Clear. They had the other models. And like I said, it's not just a color change. It actually is a change in sound. And the KPH30i Clear, when I actually took a listen, these sound really clear. A lot of the complaints I had about it of the original KPH30i's do not apply to the Clear because the Clear has it opens up a lot of the I would say more of the treble, more female vocals are a little bit more brighter compared to the regular KPH30i's. It's not as muddy. The bass isn't like fuzzy, so to say. It's a little bit more clear. And between these two, they're on par. So, but I would actually still, despite the discount, despite the fact you can get this for $21, I would still say get the KPH40s because of this headband, that it's metal and stretchy. Believe me, you can't really stretch this. You do this, it'll break. And like I said, if you're gonna buy this, have some super glue on the side because it will break on you. So that's all I gotta say. You guys have a great one. Okay, bye.